Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Pisces and love. And yes, it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Well, anyway, people, first thing I'll look at with Pisces and love. Well, Pisces is very idealistic in love. They want their partner, their prospective romantic partner, significant other, what have you, to be really live up to their ideals, their dreams. Pisces often may fantasize about that particular lover that they want. Pisces are not generally people of action. They could be very passive, and they're not always the most active people. And Pisces sometimes may just think about, well, this is what I envision this person to be, and not always be taking action on this. And you look at Pisces as well. Pisces could be very compassionate, very sensitive. They will often show strong compassion if they're committed to somebody in a romantic or a love relationship. The thing about Pisces, though, is that they can be easily hurt because of perhaps they feel, I think when they get into a relationship often, they feel, well, this person's going to be such and such. There's no way I'm going to get hurt because of their idealistic nature. And sometimes it can be where they're a little bit unrealistic in love relationships. And what happens is, when they find out that this person that they're with, in a number of instances where they're not this prototypical partner that they envision, they could really become very hurt. Now, the thing about Pisces, what Pisces has to remember is that in a love situation, that there's always going to be failings and shortcomings by someone. So you don't go into the relationship thinking, well, this couldn't possibly happen, or this couldn't happen, because there's always going to be trials and tribulations in relationship situations. And Pisces, there may be some that are cognizant of that, but there's others, I think, that go in where they're really, it's almost like they really just are not really always cognizant of this, and they really, it's kind of like being oblivious sometimes in a way. And really, what Pisces has to remember going into a relationship, there's always going to be some pitfalls. You have Pisces also has to be careful too, because Pisces can be very impressionable, and Pisces has a greater propensity, I believe, toward drugs and alcohol than the other zodiac signs. It is ruled not just by Jupiter, but by Neptune, of course. So they got to be careful who they choose, especially if there's somebody that is a strong habitual drinker, for example. They could be more susceptible to taking on becoming a drinker, because that person is, let's say, if Pisces was not a habitual drinker prior to the relationship, there's more a strong inclination they could be influenced by that partner and replicate those actions. So those are some things to look at as far as Pisces and love. And Pisces too, they're really strongly about self-sacrifice, and they're very charitable and philanthropic. They can be very giving. And the thing about Pisces also has to be careful in a love relationship that their partner, their significant other, what have you, does not take advantage of them, because Pisces, a lot of times, they just may have difficulty in saying no, because this could involve, they fear maybe some combative situation or some strong confrontation. So a lot of times Pisces will do whatever he or she can in order to avoid that. Now, the thing about Pisces too is that there's some things to look at if a Pisces may be interested in you in more than just a platonic friendship. Now, let's say you're interested in a Pisces and you're in a platonic friendship with him or her, but you feel you're on the cusp or the cutting edge, perhaps, of it escalating or becoming a little bit stronger. Well, here maybe some clues where maybe it may come to that point, or is a strong indicator, perhaps, of it doing so. Now, let's say that you have a Pisces, generally, as I stated before, generally not very, as far as being combative or confrontational. They could be very passive. But the thing about it is, if a Pisces comes to your aid and stands up for you and really risks the chance of having a strong confrontation, or actually has a strong confrontation with someone on your behalf, say in a matter where he or she is sticking up for you, then that could be an indicator right there. And another thing too is, keep in mind that Pisces can be very introverted, and they're often like their solitude, their seclusion. They like to go into their own fantasy world, whether it's at home playing video games or doing something which puts them in their own world, whether it could be watching movies or what have you. But the thing about it is, if Pisces suddenly becomes a little bit more outgoing, more gregarious with you, and goes away from that mode of being and going and wants to go maybe more places with you and being more on the outside, I guess you could say, as opposed to whatever they generally like to do on the inside, as far as indoors, then that could be an indication there that Pisces is interested in you. And also, Pisces, I mean, their emotions can be all-encompassing. I would say them and Cancer are really, almost undoubtedly, unequivocally, the two most emotional and sensitive signs of the zodiac. And the thing about it is, even though Pisces can be very emotional, there may be times with some people, if they're not quite 100% sure of those people, they may not want to express it in front of them. But the thing is, if you get a strong outpouring of emotion from a Pisces in front of you, then that might be an indicator that that relationship might be coming to the next level. At the same time, it could simply mean they feel closer with you and they're more comfortable with you, and that could just be stronger in the platonic sense. But at the same time, it could be an indicator that they might be starting to develop maybe more feelings for you and escalate upon the platonic friendship. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Pisces and love, and stay tuned next time, where I will be talking about the zodiac sign Aries and sex. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.